Hello, this is Conquering History Games, and here I am for my after-action report about my Chilean campaign. This is something I want to start doing more often, where I just sort of go over how my campaign went as a whole, and things I think I did right, things I think I did wrong. So I suppose I should start with the things I did wrong. My naval invasions certainly could have gone better. I don't think I was very good at first with directing how my navy worked. It's definitely the weakest part of my game, not just in this campaign but in others. It's like all I know how to do is build death stacks of carriers and use that to win. But when you're playing as Chile, a country that when I started, I just had this little strip here available to me. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'm going to release some of these occupied territories so we can get a look at what I really started with here. Alright, just whoops. Release everybody I can. Nationalist Uruguay. By the way, for those of you who didn't know, Uruguay and Paraguay both come with their own custom focus trees, even though they're not nations even at the start. Even here, the Rio Grande's syndicates, they also have their own custom focus tree. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know how many of you knew that, but that is a thing. In fact, let's take a look. See, now this is just becoming a look at all the independent nations. But while I'm releasing these, let's talk about the things I did right and wrong. So, I definitely did not do a good job working on my navy, but perhaps it was less a case of that I didn't do a good job building a navy, and that it might have been I was misguided in thinking I needed a strong one, because when you're playing as a minor power, perhaps naval invasions are not the way to go. I mean, amphibious assaults are not the way to go. Like I, for example, tried to do against Colombia, and those all went wrong except for a couple up here in Panama. Other things I perhaps could have done better is when it came time for the war with La Plata, I probably should not have had Marines here along this mountain province here. I mean, it's all mountain, all of it. There's no way that the Marines were going to get any help from there. I should have micromanaged my units more and had a Marine unit here on the river side of the border, and then just had Mountaineers here. What other things did I do wrong that I felt? I feel like I mostly managed my manpower pretty well, but I think at the end I did make a mistake when I decided to go for the Military High Command School of Mass Combat, who admittedly does give a little more infantry, attack, and defense, but I don't think that applies to Marines and Mountaineers, and I didn't have any infantry divisions in my army for the entire game. So instead of spending 150 for half a percentage point, I should have gone for all adults served, giving me an additional 10% recruitable population, and while admittedly greatly reducing my factory output and increasing my training time, at that point I had so much equipment I could never use it all, so it didn't really matter. What else? Okay, things I did right. I feel like the direction I went in, what the fuck? We gave this back to Bolivia, son of a bitch. But anyway, I feel that the order in which I conquered land was correct. I mean, maybe I could have gone for Bolivia first, but I think it was a better idea to go for Peru, because Peru can get stronger over a period of time than Bolivia can. Bolivia is really a very slow country, even by South American standards, and it really just tends to be the fate of both it and Ecuador to either ally with somebody or just get soaked up and die. So, yeah, I felt I did that correctly. Although, speaking of things I did wrong, I should not have made a spearhead move towards Lima. That was really stupid. I should have just made a regular frontline order, unless I was going to just be micromanaging everything. But then that's how I ended up with several units cut off, and then that war went longer than it had to. And that cost me precious time, when time is at its most valuable in the early part of the game. Let's see, other things I did right. I think I worked on my Air Force well. I suppose that I should not have taken the time to do the tank effort and tank production effort focuses, since I ended up never building a single tank for the entire campaign. And you know, I could have, if I could go back, I'd have spent the time I spent on these focuses, bringing it over here and working on building better submarines. Because while manpower is an issue, I could have, oops, I need to look at the research tree. I could have been working on this dockyard. I could have been getting better submarines and making, like, not a big navy, but a very high quality one that'd be just enough to help me if I did want to do those naval invasions after all. Another thing I did right was I used a support I haven't really used before, initiative, with the initiative here. Really great for the reinforcements. I didn't think I needed logistics, even though we were in South America. I feel that the armies were still small enough. I think logistics are only really needed in South America if you're coming in with the big armies, like if you're playing as Russia or something, you end up down here. So I feel that going signal companies instead of logistics was the right call to make. Besides that, I didn't really get to ally with anybody, but I suppose that was good in itself, because then it meant I had to, you know, stand on my own 2 feet. I was able to defeat La Plata without any help from Brazil, and it does seem a little bit luck generated, and it's just difficult to plan too far ahead, because you can't go with a foreign policy until you've already elected your chairman. So, for example, if you wanted to make a tank-heavy army, you really need the third. Well, you don't need the third international because you get some amazing bonuses anyway. But you can get 6 possible research bonuses for armor with an alliance with the third international. So it's very good, and I suppose it doesn't matter too much, because like by the time it's 1940, you're gonna know who won this war already. The Commune of France will have either won or lost by then. Southern Revolution, I honestly do not see the point in it, other than if you're scared of taking on La Plata by yourself. But as we can see, I was able to do it all on my own. So, I mean, I guess one reduced ahead of time penalty for infantry weapons and support artillery, that's a benefit. But as we saw, I was able to get to the 3rd advanced artillery, and I had rocket artillery by what, 1940? I had both of those like already implemented into my divisions using just the regular bonuses. So I don't see an issue with I just don't see any good reason why anyone would go with Brazil. So, what I'm trying to think. I mean, you know, I have a pretty damn good sized army. I had 67 divisions by the end, 600,000 men in the field. Things went really well. I can't think of anything else. Anyway, let me know what you think about me doing these little reflective thoughts after a campaign. I don't think I've ever seen any other people on YouTube do that after a campaign. Maybe there's a reason for it, nobody cares or something, but let me know what you thought. I'm Conquering History Games. Please subscribe and tell me in the comments the things that you think I did right and wrong during this campaign, and have a wonderful day.